So Iran and Pakistan, they are at each other. We never thought that's going to happen in 2024. Iran and Pakistan, once allies, they're almost in a war kind of situation. What happened? Why this all happened? But Iran and Pakistan were the allies when Iran was not the current Iran. That was pre 1979 Iran. That was Reza Shah's Iran. That was the Iran which was very progressive. That was the Iran which was darling of the West, especially the United States. That was the Iran getting along with Israel. That was the Iran who went ahead and become ally with Pakistan. That Iran and that Pakistan was once together part of CENTO, which was the Central Treaty Organization. And that was the Iranian Revolution which changed everything. That changed the relations of Iran with the West, with Europe, and especially with the United States till today. And when this kind of, war kind of situations or scuffles happen between the Muslim countries, the only one reason behind it is a sectarian practice. The divide between Shiites and Sunnis. There is no other reason. And the exact reason is here too. Pakistani, which is a Sunni dominated country, and Iran, which is predominantly Shiites. That is the divide. And that divide is not going anywhere. It's been since 6th century that's been going on. Although both the religions have a lot of, I would say 99% similarities, but just very little thing, they're just at each other. That's why we have a divide in Middle East between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Otherwise, you look at the Iran, they have a great history. It's the old Persia. It has an entire history with them, but it was ignored after 1979. All these restrictions on them, that country is cut off from the world, but internally they are very strong. Now, what happened with Pakistan? Why it happened with the Pakistan? Why they led into this, up to this situation? They share the border along with each other, about 900 miles of border, and they're actually blaming each other for the terrorist network operating on their soil, which are working against the other countries. When in 80s, the Afghan war which happened with Russia. Russia fought the war from 1979 to 89. So when Russia got out, the situation was becoming bad to worse. The Mujahideen came to the picture, and the Mujahideen got help from United States. Mujahideens are on both sides. Iran also helped Mujahideens, but they helped the Tajik Mujahideens, which are the Shiites Mujahideen. So those Mujahideens in Afghanistan become Taliban, and Taliban was predominantly Sunni. You might have heard that name, Ahmad Shah Massoud. He was considered a good leader by United States. And that good leader has a backing of United States as well as Iran. So United States and Iran were on the same boat so many times, even after 1979. But since the animosity is so deep, United States don't want to work with him. They work during that time with Ahmad Shah Massoud. And Ahmad Shah Massoud got killed 2 days before 9/11, apart from Ahmad Shah Massoud. In 2012, the Syrian war, that Syrian war was against Syria. It was between Syria and ISIS. And United States played the role there too. What part United States played the role with, and who's against United States was fighting with? They still didn't have a clue, because one side it was Syria, which is Shiites country, and another side it was ISIS, that was hardcore Sunni organization. They were at each other. They were headbutting with each other. What side was United States? Not on the side of Syria, because Syria was the enemy, axis of evil, and the other side was ISIS. So what side the United States was? They're not able to determine this. They were saying they were helping rebels. You know who those rebels were? Either ISIS or the people who are getting help from ISIS. They just couldn't understand that. How ISIS came into the picture after the fall of Saddam Hussein. It's not after the fall of Saddam Hussein. What government they put there? They put the Shiites government in the Sunni state. You know, there was an old thing they call divide and conquer. British used that for a long time. That worked then, and that thing still working today, and that's going to keep working in the future. As far as there are dumb people out there, you can always divide them. But United States totally forgot that formula. Instead of gapping the bridge between these two, they bridged the gap. They put Shiites in the power in Iraq, and Shiites are already in the power in Iran. You want to make sure your enemy is divided all the time. But there you made the mistake. You bridged that gap. And that's how ISIS won. When it comes to Hezbollah, when it comes to Hamas, when it comes to Houthis, this is all Shiite groups. They can never, ever get along with the group like ISIS. And today, what happened, the Pakistan and Iran is going on each other. This is just because of that divide. They were divided in Afghanistan. They were divided in Middle East. They were divided everywhere. They divided on Red Sea. What is this Yemen war? That was really nothing. That was a war of a control. And now that is getting bad to worse. Because of Israel and Hamas, Houthis came back again. Otherwise, that thing was suppressed. And now Pakistan is in the picture. Pakistan, okay, you don't underestimate Pakistan. Pakistan is a nuclear state. They have a good army. They have a good nuclear weapons, which Iran doesn't have. What Iran have is, Iran have the proxies. He always fight proxy wars. Hezbollah, Hamas, and now Houthis. But where the situation go from this point, you can't tell. But Pakistan is not in the position of opening the war. They're not in the position of diplomacy, because for diplomacy they need West. And China is not going to like that if they talk to West. And why would Iran listen to the West? They're not listening to them anyhow. So this is a very tricky situation where the world will go from here. But now Iran is in the picture, and Iran wants to tell the West that any violent activity against them will not be tolerated. Recently, 100 or maybe 90 people got killed on the anniversary of the general who died a few years back. It might be a response to that. Attack on Syria, attack on Iraq. Maybe that might be a response to that. And now, attack on Pakistan. They want to tell the world they're here and they're powerful.